Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Drive My Car. And this is a new Japanese film that is really cleaning up at a lot of award shows already in terms of international film did at the Golden Globes. And this is from Ryûsuke Hamaguchi, which focuses on an actor and director who loses his wife and years later is brought to Hiroshima to be a part of this theater and put on a Chekhov play with a mix of different languages and a mixed cast. And when he's forced to take up a chauffeur, he winds up having this young 23-year-old girl who winds up driving him all around in his red car that he's very particular about, which is obviously the title, Drive My Car. This film deals with a lot of loss and grief. And the whole story is just draped in this. And the motivations of these two main characters, this director and this young woman driving him around, there's a lot of grief and loss in both of their lives. And they carry that with them. And you have confronting regrets and what could have been done and the guilt that both of these characters hold on each other, on themselves, for what they perceive as something that they did wrong to a loved one that they lost. And this film is so poignant and so intriguing in the way that it just hammers these ideas home and really focuses on them. And you have these budding relationships, this forming of like a parental bond between this director and this young driver, and you have the remnants of emotional and this loving relationship that this director had with his wife and the complexities of it. And what throws it even more is that he casts one of her old young lovers in it. And you have that awkwardness, that strange connection that these two men have, and trying to build a professional relationship out of that relationship is so complicated and interesting. And how the film handles the acting, the directing, and the writing process. There's a whole entire sequence where you get a perspective into Oto's, the now deceased wife's, writing process, which is so intriguing and different and provocative, and this film doesn't shy away from going very direct into what it's trying to talk about. And the challenges of the direction of all these different people speaking different languages, one of which is mute and uses a lot of sign language, and also the acting process. And there's one particular scene that just draws you in between two of the female actors in this performance that they're putting on is so enthralling, and it just pulls you in. And right at the center of this film, there's so many unlikely connections that bud and grow in this film, and really captures an emotional response in a meaningful way. There's a whole entire sequence when, you have this young woman driving, but you have this director and you have this actor who was the director's dead wife's former lover. They have this strange interaction in the back of the car. And there's a story that the director knows, but only knows part of it, because this young actor got more of it told to him by this man's wife. And that story is so impactful and so dense with symbolism and ideas, and how it really fits into the greater scheme of this story. And this young actor is flawed, he's dealing with a lot of issues, and makes terrible mistakes. And everyone in this, like the main actors in this story, all are very flawed. This film is very methodical. This is a 3-hour film, first of all. This film takes the time to take particular scenes and really flesh them out in the most dense and meaningful and poignant way. And it doesn't shy away from like, oh, the scene might be too long and drawn out. but we really need it to be to hammer home what it's trying to say. And you have Hamaguchi, who does not shy away from committing the filmmaking to making the best film, bringing this story to life. And the acting, so you have Hidetoshi Nishijima, who plays Yusuke, this director, and he gives such a great performance. There's a lot of stoicism, but then there's a lot of moments of cracking through this emotion, and he gives one of the best lead performances of the year. You have Miura Toko, who plays Masaki, this young woman who is also very stoic. The two of them are extremely stoic. And she is very matter-of-fact of conveying her regrets and her feelings and her emotions from her past. And you have Masaki Okada, who plays Takatsuki, who's this young actor. And there's a lot of vulnerability there. There's a lot of insecurity there. There's a lot of struggling of control there. And the things that he winds up doing. And a special shout out to Yoo-rim Park, who plays Yuna, this mute actress, who does such an amazing job acting with the sign language and conveying so much. And there's one of the second to last scene in this film is between her and Nishijima, and what she's able to convey in that scene is so important thematically for the whole entire film, to pull it all together, and she just kills it. She knocks it out of the park. And there's plenty of impressive scenes throughout this film coming together, making an even more impressive, cohesive film. And this is just a profound journey to go on. And I was so impressed by this film. I hope people go check this out if they're able to find it. Or when it comes to VOD, don't sleep on this one. It is a profound and impressive film. But those are my thoughts on Drive My Car. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.